But Donnarumma, a great goalkeeper, very reliable, saves penalties, and he's a force to be reckoned with in terms of like his size and his stature. You can just see him when he stands by the poles, but like, I honestly don't care.
They act like Maignan. The rivalry behind Maignan as calling him a player who only cares about money. Donnarumma fighters refuse to speak Maignan's attitude, while Maignan claimed the replacement will have to manage this top hero and the other alien Tchouaméni, the Real Madrid.
Okay, Jude Bellingham versus Tchouaméni. I'm just curious who's having this debate in the first place, because this comparison doesn't even make sense because they're completely different players. Tchouaméni is more of a defensive-minded type of player. He intercepts play in midfield, you know, he cleans up in terms of tackling his opponents, and you can also play him at center-back at times, you know, which is the exact opposite with Jude. Jude is more of an engine type of player. He goes box to box. Sometimes he can make those runs from deep and score goals, kind of like Enzo. His ability on the football is okay, you know, it's nothing to rave about, but it gets the job done. His passing is okay, but really his speciality is his engine, man. Like, he just doesn't stop running, and the fact that he has such a high energy, it gives him opportunities, you know, to score these goals, because while everyone else around him is tired, he always has the energy to pop up in areas to become dangerous in the box. So this conversation to me just doesn't make sense. They're completely two different styles. It's like comparing Lionel Messi to James Milner. And I'm not saying any of them is Lionel Messi, but I'm saying in terms of how extremely different the two type of players are, it just doesn't make sense to compare them.
Power struggle. Playing for the same club should make you teammates, not enemies. But at Real Madrid, Jude Bellingham and Aurelien Tchouaméni are locked in a battle for supremacy that threatens to tear the dressing room apart. Both players arrived as expensive signings, both were supposed to be the future of Real Madrid's midfield, and both believed they should be the main man. The problem started when Bellingham...
But Tchouaméni doesn't believe he's the main man. How could he believe he's the main man, honestly speaking? Because majority of the time he was at the back. Jude Bellingham has always been the guy who's scoring the goals and who has exceptional PR. So how can he genuinely believe he's the man when a person like Jude Bellingham is in your team? It just doesn't make sense to me.
His immediate success overshadowed Tchouaméni's steady development. Spanish media reported heated exchanges during training sessions, with Tchouaméni claiming Bellingham was given preferential treatment because of his transfer fee. Bellingham allegedly responded by telling Tchouaméni to earn his place like everyone else. The rivalry exploded during a Champions League match when Tchouaméni ignored Bellingham's run and shot from 25 yards instead of passing. Bellingham was seen throwing his hands up in frustration, and cameras caught him saying something to Tchouaméni that made the French midfielder shake his head angrily. When England plays France in the World Cup, these Real Madrid teammates...
Come on now, that's normal behavior. That's normal behavior from two teammates, you know. One teammate does something you don't like, you go to him, you tell him to stop doing that shit or whatever you want to tell to him, but that's normal behavior, man. There's nothing
will be trying to destroy each other's dreams. Club loyalty goes out the window when national pride is on the line. 3. Rodri versus Casemiro, the defensive...
Okay, now this is a debate. This is a debate because they're both very similar footballers. Of course, since Rodri won the Ballon d'Or, a lot of people are going to say Rodri has always been better, but Casemiro, man, Casemiro, even now, while Manchester United are struggling, every time you watch them, Casemiro is always brilliant on the field, and he is so versatile. He is so versatile. He does everything on the pitch. Every single thing, from scoring goals to intercepting play to tackling to helping out the defenders. And he has like really good feet. I've seen him dribble from time to time, and his passing is elite. I know a lot of people don't speak about his passing because that's not like the main focus of the type of player he is, but his passing is serious. Like, he can make extremely difficult passes, and a lot of people didn't get the opportunity to witness it at Madrid because he was playing with Toni Kroos and Modric, who normally did all the passing and all the dictating of the play. But Casemiro, man, he's a brilliant guy, brilliant footballer. And then Rodri on the other hand, same thing, very same thing. But I don't think his defensive attributes are something to rave about. But in terms of like going forward, his passing is excellent. His finishing, I would honestly say it's better than Casemiro in terms of he scores more long range goals, different types like left foot, right foot, headers, even though Casemiro also wins headers. But like, this is a conversation. If you ask me to choose which one is better between the two, I honestly don't know. Because sometimes I would say Rodri, sometimes I'd say Casemiro, but this is very tight. And whatever side you choose, you can make a case for either side, because these are just two world-class footballers. But yeah, man, let's just see what this guy says.
Midfielder grudge match. Manchester City's Rodri versus Manchester United's Casemiro isn't just about club rivalries. It's about who's the better defensive midfielder of their generation. Both players have won everything at club level, but their personal hatred runs deeper than trophies. The feud started when Casemiro publicly said that Rodri benefited from playing in a superior team, implying he wasn't
But you can say the same thing for Casemiro as well. It's not like Casemiro was playing for scrubs, because that Real Madrid team was elite. And this Man United, let me say this current Man United team is also on paper a really good side, even though the results don't match it. But like on paper, the players they have are really good players. It's just the coach and his tactics, you know, it just doesn't make sense. But we've seen Casemiro play for both type of sides, you know, a struggling side and a side dominating football. Whereas in Rodri's case, we've only seen him play for City. So okay, we've also seen him play for Atletico Madrid, but then and it's not like he was scrubbing it out in Atletico. He was still the same guy. So okay, this is a tough one.
Individually better.
Rodri
responded by pointing out his consistency versus Casemiro's declining performances at United. Brazilian media.
And that's disrespectful. Declining performances at United. Nah, you can't say that, because I've seen Man United. I've watched Man United. Even though they concede dumb goals, it's never really his fault. It's the people around him, Bruno especially. Bruno is a psychopath. To play in midfield with someone like Bruno, it has to be torture. Because as midfielders, there has to be an understanding of we all helping each other in this game. We all controlling this game. But Bruno, for some reason, when the whistle blows, it's like he doesn't want to be a midfielder anymore. He now then tries to be a striker. Then he just runs forward and leaves everyone in midfield isolated. So how can you dominate a football game with someone like that? You can't, because there's just too much space in the midfield. You know, that's why I call him a psychopath. Something is wrong with that guy. I don't know what it is, but he is the main issue at Man United. And I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me because he gets stats. Some people even tell me, where would they be without Bruno? But then I argue that they are exactly where they are because of Bruno, because they keep allowing him to get away with such nonsense, and that affects them so much on the pitch. I've seen games where Bruno doesn't play. Yeah, sure, sometimes they struggle to get goals, but they struggle even when he's there. The only thing he brings to the team is penalties, and lately he's not even doing that very well, because he's still missing penalties these days. So I don't know what the issue is with Bruno, but come on, man. And to say they're being carried by Bruno, it just doesn't make sense as well, because where is he carrying them to? They almost got relegated in the previous season. So what? He carried them all the way to 15th? Come on, guys. This just doesn't make sense. It's stupidity at this point. And the fans who are completely blinded by Bruno are the biggest issue with the club. You know, they're not willing to let go. But at this point, you're supposed to let go. You see, when the Saudi Arabian team, I don't remember what it was. I think it was Al Hilal, if I'm not mistaken, or Al Ahly. Okay, I don't know much about these teams, but yeah, those teams, one of them offered £100 million or euros for Bruno. Man United should have just taken the deal and use that money to get better midfielders that would have helped them actually dominate and use the players around them. Because these guys, they have Cunha, Mbuemo and all these weapons, but they're not getting the best out of them, all because of the midfield they have, you know. But hey, whatever, man. I'm rambling now about Man United.
Media called it disrespectful, while Spanish journalists defended their man. During Manchester derbies, both players have made tackles that were more about sending messages than winning the ball. Casemiro once left his foot in late on Rodri, while the Spaniard responded with a perfectly timed but unnecessarily aggressive sliding tackle. The rivalry reached boiling point when Rodri won the Ballon d'Or, with Casemiro posting cryptic social media messages about individual awards, meaning nothing without team success.
Individual awards mean nothing without the team success. Yeah, that's true. I genuinely believe that. But then again, I also believe the awards should be given to the best of the best. They should be given to the best of the best, regardless of whether the team performs or not, you know. So I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I feel like this is a double-edged sword, but hey, whatever.
Spain plays Brazil in California. These two will be the engines of their teams, and neither will give an inch. 2. Luka Modric versus Kevin De Bruyne.
Luka Modric versus Kevin De Bruyne. Okay, this one is an interesting one, because in terms of the final ball, you know, as in like the pass to the striker or the pass to a teammate that gets them through the defense and one-on-one with the goalkeeper, Kevin De Bruyne is one of the best, if not the best at it, you know. But then again, he spams, you know. So for me, that's something I will always put against his name, you know, because I've watched Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne tries that pass so many times in a game. He will try that pass 5 times, and once out of that 5 times, it leads to an actual good chance. But then people will show that one time it worked and ignore all the other times it didn't, you know. And then they would try and use that one clip to convince you that he is the best midfielder, which doesn't make sense to me, because when it comes to someone like Luka Modric, he's always dominating the game. Yeah, sure, he doesn't get stats, but when you actually watch him, man, like, wow, what a footballer. His dribbling, his passing, even his work rate, from him helping out in defense, you know, to him helping out in attacks when they are needed. He's just like an unbelievable footballer. He's a joke of a footballer, and the fact that he was doing it until 40 years old, it's a joke. I think this guy is like, what, 41, and he's still in Europe's top leagues, you know, at AC Milan. So his quality is undeniable. But you can say the same thing for Kevin De Bruyne in terms of him playing for a European side at his age. You know, the fact that he's still at Napoli, it shows that there's still quality in him. But to me, it's not even close, man. Luka Modric is way better than Kevin De Bruyne. But then again, Kevin De Bruyne, one thing about Kevin De Bruyne is it's his finishing. His finishing, it's on another level. Like, no one shoots a football better than Kevin De Bruyne. I've seen this guy shoot so many times, even when his shots are off target. Like, you can see they were close and he almost scored, or he made the goalkeeper work. So in terms of his shooting ability, you know, he's undeniable, man. Kevin De Bruyne is brilliant. But in terms of midfield, the midfield game, man, Luka Modric is definitely a maestro. He's a boss in midfield. But De Bruyne, in terms of attacking, I'd give him the edge in terms of attacking, but not the midfield. Not the midfield game.
Final battle of legends. Two midfield maestros in the twilight of their careers, desperate for one last moment of glory. Luka Modric, the Croatian magician who defies aging, versus Kevin De Bruyne, the Belgian pass master fighting against time and injuries. Both players know the 2026 World Cup might be their final chance at international glory. Modric at 40.
No, but these guys shouldn't play. These guys shouldn't play, honestly speaking. It's time to retire, guys. You guys are old men now. You know, go be with your families and whatever, but don't be involved in this World Cup. Let the young generation take over now. It's time to see new faces.
Still pulling strings for Croatia like a...
If these two are still playing for their nations, then I don't think their nations are gonna go that far. But then again, Croatia, for some reason, they just know They just know how to thug it out, you know. Even though the odds are always against them, they somehow manage to get far in competitions. But I don't think luck is with them this time, man. And I can say the same thing for Kevin De Bruyne, man. It's time to let it go, because that Belgium side, when you are playing, for some reason they just look worse, in my opinion. But
puppet master, while De Bruyne,
again,
34,
not a lot of people are going to agree.
Belgium's creative heartbeat despite his injury struggles. The rivalry intensified during the 2024 Nations League, when De Bruyne claimed Croatia's style was outdated and relied too much on one player. Modric responded with a masterclass performance in their next meeting, scoring a 35-yard screamer and dedicating the goal to all the doubters. De Bruyne hit back by saying some players don't know when to retire, a clear dig at Modric's age. The Croatian legend responded by outlasting De Bruyne in their next
Some players don't know when to retire. Come on, man. You can say the same thing about yourself, because every time we watch you on the soccer field, every time we watch you on a soccer field, man, you're always walking on the pitch, you know. You're just waiting for someone to pass you and then you just spam the football. So the same can be applied to you. You can't just say things like that.
With the Belgians substituted after 60 minutes while Modric played the full 90. California will host the final chapter of this legendary rivalry. Both players are running out of time and neither will go quietly into retirement. 1. Cristiano Ronaldo versus Kylian.
Come on. See this one here, this one, it just annoys me. What is this? Cristiano Ronaldo versus Kylian Mbappe. Why are we even having such a conversation? This is an old man, guys. You know, I respect him, he's done so much in the game, but come on, man, we can't be talking about Cristiano Ronaldo in 2025. Not even 2025, 2026. He shouldn't even be at the World Cup. He shouldn't even be at the World Cup. And if he's there, he should be helping out the team in the locker room, you know, guiding them, giving them motivation. But he shouldn't be playing and then coming on as a sub maybe in the last 5 minutes or something. But honestly speaking, man, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Let me just hear what he has to say.
Mbappe, the torch that won't be passed. The ultimate rivalry, the aging king versus the prince who wants his throne. Cristiano Ronaldo, 41 years old and refusing to step.
Who wants his throne? In terms of international football, Mbappe has had more success. Mbappe has had more success. So, is it really your throne when you haven't had as much success? Yes, sure, you've had a great career, but like in terms of international football, man, Mbappe clears you, because Mbappe has a World Cup. He has a World Cup. Something you've never even seen. He saw it from the gate.
Aside against Kylian Mbappe, 27 and tired of waiting for his coronation. This isn't just about Portugal versus France anymore. It's about legacy, respect, and who gets to be called the best player in the world.
Of course we still respect this guy. But you're making it harder and harder to respect you when you just don't want to retire. Come on, guy, just hang it all up. You know, just let it go. Just play club football. Just play club football at Al Nassr. You know, get your 1,000 goals, retire, go off into the sunset. But the fact that you want to come into the World Cup, man, how are Portugal fans not irritated by this? I'm sure a lot of Portugal fans are irritated by this, but people keep allowing it to happen, which is just ridiculous to me.
Mbappe has been publicly frustrated with Ronaldo's refusal to acknowledge him as football's new superstar, while Ronaldo continues to break records and claim he's still the greatest. The rivalry exploded when Mbappe said in an interview that the old
and you can't say you're the greatest when someone like Lionel Messi still exists. But I hear him. I hear him. He's a guy who competed with Lionel Messi for a long time. So him believing he's the best, I don't blame him. You have every right to believe that, but then let it go, my guy. Just let it go, man. Cause you're killing us, man. You're killing us. You're making us look like haters, when in reality that's not even what we're saying. We're just saying, just hang it up. Go out respectfully, man. Let us appreciate you more.
Generation needs to step aside for the new.
Yeah.
Everyone knew he was talking about Ronaldo. The Portuguese legend responded by scoring a hat-trick in his next match and celebrating with his signature.
A hat-trick in his next match. I'm sure that hat-trick was against, what's that team he always scores against? Is it Luxembourg or what? You know, those mysterious countries we don't even know much about. Those countries and shit, that are so hidden from the rest of the world. Those are the type of games where CR7 gets hat-tricks. But if it's against like France or what, we don't see him.
Siu, while staring directly at the cameras. When PSG played Al Nassr in a friendly, Ronaldo scored twice and celebrated each goal by mimicking Mbappe's celebrations. The Frenchman responded with a goal of his own and a celebration that mocked Ronaldo's age, pretending to walk with a walking stick. Portuguese media called it disrespectful to a legend. French media said it was time for Ronaldo to accept reality. The football world was split down the middle. The 2026 World Cup in California might be Ronaldo's last chance to prove he's still the king. Mbappe will be desperate to finally step out of the shadow of the man who dominated football for 2 decades. When Portugal meets France, it won't just be a football match, it'll be a generational war with the crown jewels of football history on the line. These rivalries will turn the 2026 World Cup into a psychological battlefield. In California's sun-soaked stadiums, egos will clash as much as teams. The beautiful game has never been more personal, and we can't wait to watch it all unfold. If you enjoyed these intense rivalries, there's another video.
Hectic.